All power demands sacrifice. Of all the vaunted warrior formations within the legions, the Justaerin sit at their apex. In terms of soldiery, skill at arms, determination, and sheer force, these were the pinnacle of what the Astartes program could achieve. Within a legion that prided itself on its preeminence within the Imperial war machine, these sable-clad killers came to embody the best martial traditions of the Sons of Horus. The best of the best. Close your eyes and whisper softly, sensuously. Horus Heresy. What models float to the forefront of your mind's eye? Justaerin. It's Justaerin. That's the right answer. If it wasn't, well, you just need to read more books. You know, bone up on the law, for God's sake. Bro. When we... Sorry, that's me being obsequious. Wait, so when we came to devise the hashtag Return to Isfahan project, I knew at the very outset I wanted a low model count army that could be painted in a reasonable time frame. We started the project in March with a deadline of December 1st in mind. Each miniature, I decided, would be bespoke, an art piece in and of itself. The genesis of this paint scheme came about by viewing the artwork produced by the Forge-World studio team. This image is available in the first Black Book, and I think you can see just the level of detail and the seriousness at which they try to create this world. It was as believable and as realistic as future warfare in the 31st millennium could be, and I really appreciated the seriousness with which they treated this subject matter. And this is something I tried to do in my own work with the Justaerin. They use traditional militaristic techniques to give a flat, realistic finish. It's something that I do advise students think about before they start a new project. Do you want a fantastical force that uses lots of bright saturated colours, lots of complementary tones in relation to one another? Or do you want something that's realistic, gritty and dirty? Neither choice is right or wrong, but it's a stylistic choice you make at the start of a project. It's like when you watch a horror film, and instead of the music being very dark and haunting and creeping up on you, it plays nothing but Michael Jackson tracks. Okay, probably a bad example. S Club 7 tracks in the background. The tone doesn't fit the movie, doesn't fit the intention of the piece. You need to think of the tone of your entire army before you approach it. And scribbling down these ideas, scribbling down a design note is fun to do at the start. Who doesn't enjoy making a new project, making plans for a new project? And by all means, you can break these, you can change these, you can amend them as time progresses, because all plans change when it meets the reality. But you have a framework there that you can go and develop and grow from. The Justaerin miniatures are some of the best in the range. They're some of the finest Games Workshop have ever produced. And I wanted to give that level of scrutiny to each miniature. It's easy to overlook, but open up the pictures, enlarge them, really blow them up on your screen. Try and search for scratches, secondary light reflections, and other nods to the artwork found in the Black Books. They're both present in the sculpts, and I try to express them through the paint job as well. The Justaerin in my army, well, the sculpts themselves rather, Justaerin, they are the forerunners of the Chaos Space Marines, especially the Terminators. You can see the budding aspects of the aesthetic that would later dominate the Traitor Legions in 40k. The army, is led by Abaddon, an exemplar of the swift, brutal strike to the throat known as the spear tip assault, famous throughout the Crusade for its daring tactic of applying overwhelming force at the point of the enemy's greatest strength. This doctrine smashed empires in hours. The spear tip is often led by a strong contingent of Terminators, a style of warfare that has never left the first captain. When you see his model in 40k, when you see the kind of armies he is best suited to lead in, it's always with a strong puncher's chance of knocking out the enemy. It always has a small contingent of Terminators. This 1500 point Centurion list has 15 Terminators at its heart. This is as tough an assault force as you could wish for. What this army lacks in terms of heavy firepower, mobility, versatility, it more than makes up for in terms of sheer bluntness. It's a very unsubtle army, it's a puncher's army. It's been designed to drop in as close to the enemy as possible and murder everything in sight. Justaerin Black, is hellishly slippery. I wanted to achieve a battle-worn appearance that wasn't overly dull. I could rely on the old trick of highlighting with shades of grey. I couldn't rely on the old trick of highlighting with shades of grey and glazing with turquoise. It's something that I love to do, something I tell my students to do, especially when they're trying to get a handle of introducing more colour into their work. Instead, the base coat really provided the answer. By building to a white in the pre-shade, I then used yellow over the top, glazed yellow, and then used black ink to shade it down. The armour took on a realistic look that could be built upon with oils and mineral spirits and further damage work. The gold, in complement to the black, is desaturated. In fact, the only saturated portions of the miniature are the eye lenses, the top knot, and the shoulder guard. Any splashes of blood as well really stand out against the side of the miniature because of the way I've used desaturated colours across the entirety of the piece. The Justaerin that's blowing away the Sons of Horus on his base, that's taken from Corax's base, and there is a free tutorial you can watch right now, available in the YouTube channel on how to create that sort of blood effect. The random spatters were created by loading up a brush heavily with the blood mixture, then using an airbrush at a high PSI to splatter across the surface of the miniature. You can also find the full tutorial for the Justaerin's face that can be found on the website, and it can also be found in the video descriptions below. So this is the first, I guess, real unit, or this is the first unit I've kicked out of the Justaerin. To go alongside these, there will be another there will be a command squad that I've converted up that will include a Lodge Master and a Banner. We are also including a Praetor, a Sons of Horus Dreadnought, as well as Abaddon himself. The finish line is firmly in sight, 1st of December. I still think I can make it. I'm not saying that with as much confidence as I did at the start of November, but it will get to the point where it's nearly done, if not done completely. If you've participated in this challenge, leave a link below. Tag me in anything that you're doing. Make sure you tag all your work with #ReturnToIstvan. It's been a wonderful challenge, and it's kind of taken the edge off 2020 a lot. With lockdown, with COVID, it's not been the best of times. I mean, it hasn't been the worst of times either, but it's not been great. It's been a generational challenge, to be sure. So participating in this challenge has been a nice throwback to easier, better times when the Heresy was in full flourish, when we were getting these new units. Classic Heresy, classic Justaerin. That's my happy space. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss, anything I'm not quite capturing in the videos, please leave a message below. That's the only way that you'll get your question answered. Interaction. If you like these videos, if you want to see any other videos, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next reflection piece. Thank you very much.